I do remember that guy. There's good Jews. There's a good everybody. There's bad. There's bad whites. There's good whites. There's good Jews and there's bad Jews.
And they're not.
We're talking about the bad ones.
It's funny when you go into these books about money, you'll see cool chapter titles like When the Jews Infiltrated. Like
they get a little on the nose.
You'll be like,
not
banking starts. Banking's good. Jews, the collapse of the dollar. Like I have literally 3 books that's their chapter outline.
That's that's literally the book I'm reading where it goes into, and you don't go into these books wanting that.
Yeah. If I wanted to read anti-Semitism, I'd read those. I'd read Mein Kampf.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I might.
For
research.
There might be some interesting topics in there.
My cousin was saying how she's like, oh, when people say the Hitler stuff about Trump, I'm like, it's hyperbole on the one hand, but when they say that he did say things that Hitler said, that is true. He does have rhetoric things
100%
that are similar, but as far as him being as bad as Hitler, that you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, that you're insane. Who knows?
You want the taste of this or no?
You can just hold it for a little bit, maybe. Or want it. It's all right. I like it. Outline us in there.
The year was 1913. The Federal Reserve came into being. And this was very bad.
Very bad.
It happened because J.P. Morgan was the one who fixed the financial crisis at the time. And they said, oh, we can't have the banks doing that. We need to come up with a government one that can do that. So they made the Federal Reserve.
On Jekyll Island.
Exactly.
My parents just went there.
So that might be its own video at some point, like the whole Jekyll Island Federal Reserve thing.
Yeah.
We're picking up in 1914. World War I pops off.
The war to end all wars. They said it was going to be a world war, and it was.
Well, it wasn't a world war till America was involved. It was a tiny European war.
little Europe.
A small European war. No one talked about it. No, they came knocking at our door. They said, please, help. Germany, they're too tough. They're too tough. I said,
you want to see tough?
America said no so many times. So it's the shit we talk about wanting. America was at one point.
Yeah.
Where we were like, nah, let them fight. Yeah, what the fuck do we have to do there?
We're an ocean away. What the fuck you talking
And then this is the beginnings of companies and people having their hands. Because at first politicians are maybe people that are genuinely yeah, why would we go do shit like that? And now people start putting money in their pockets. And they start going actually, I think it'd be a good idea to go to war. Because a guy who sells rocket launchers told me to.
It's funny that we're the only people on this side of the world who they're no one's going to Venezuela for help. You know what I mean? No one's hitting up Mexico and being yo, can you send troops over to Iraq? I don't think they do that.
Economies or markets, you could
be
say
wrong,
Brazil and stuff are big, but yeah, military wise, no one's really
It's also it's one thing where if you're in England and Germany and Poland, Germany invades Poland, it's all right, that's a stone throw away.
Gotta keep an eye on that.
Keep an eye on that. When over here, what's gonna happen? What is Venezuela gonna invade? Fucking Colombia? Who the fuck?
I'm sure there's little local skirmishes here and there.
And we probably started half of them.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, we don't hear about them because this is their psyop, CIA, probably child kidnapping.
We fucking beheaded the leader of whoever was running that shit.
Channel 5 had a Native American lady on that says so many of the people that go missing in this country are Native people because people don't care. They fall into a gray area. She said as far as policing them. So it's no
really?
Yeah. Yeah, I just watched the
like
little,
off of like Indian reservations.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of fucking sense because I watched this video. Oh, was it the Channel 5 one?
Yes.
You were talking about? Yeah. Okay, then yeah, we're on the same page.
I was at a dance recital the other day, and all I could think about was people hold up those charts about how like everyone's a pedophile, and I'm just sitting there being like, there's a fucking 500 people in here. Someone's a pedophile. Like, the numbers are astronomical that someone's a pedophile.
That's like that great Louis bit when he opens that one set and he's like, wow, 3,000 people in here. One of you isn't making it to Christmas. It's like, and that's just the odds. Like you don't want to, who knows?
That's the truth.
I'm sorry, go ahead. World War I.
World War I. So, at the time, America's like, yeah, fuck these banks and shit. That's like, we were real. This is the America that, when people say make it great again, this is what they think they're alluding to, but they don't even know. They think
they want to go back.
They're talking about the 80s, like a bunch of idiots. This is when America was strong.
Pre-reset.
I don't even, who knows when the mud flooded.
Well, no, like just this. World War I, World War II. Those
Federal
are
Reserve just happened, but it hasn't had a chance to fuck shit up yet. So this is the first like money, switch. So America's staying out of the war until 1917. It didn't want to fund the countries at war, even let alone go and fight. But the private businesses and the banks, they were still working with these other countries. So J.P. Morgan's bitch ass, whose name I have to fucking see on my Chase app. I have to see this cocksucker's name to this fucking day.
Every time.
J.P. Morgan, he pulls from the Wall Street guys $2.3 billion across 2 years, and he goes and sells it. He sells British war bonds. That's how he gets the money.
Yeah.
And he's the exclusive agent to England and France. What are you saying?
I said, no, it's smart.
Well, yeah, it's smarter having enough money to do it. Yeah. How do you... Yeah.
Well, you basically just own Britain's debt. It's like just what that is. Like you just...
Yeah, he's the middleman between just like, exactly, their debt to America, but, the investors of America, not the government. So when he gets the money, he puts it in a separate account, then England and France will, and the Allies will let Allied forces, they tell him what they want. He uses the money out of that account to buy the fucking steel or the oil or whatever, and then they ship it over. So Morgan stopped doing business with Germany in 1915, a year into the war, because England had a sick naval blockade that went up the whole goddamn... look at this shit. They had this shit like all the way up to Norway.
Damn.
They had all that shit covered.
Where you just have all your boats out there? Where do they store these things when they're not in use? You know what I mean? Like, if you have that many boats to line up and shit, like, where do those...
Well, they had them all across the world at one point, right?
I guess that's true. You're calling them all in. You're bringing the boys home.
They used to run everything.
Yeah, pull them out of India, pull them out of... Yeah.
Yeah, but it went all the way up to Norway. I've been watching World War II documentaries, like a Mafk. I know this is World War I. But that's like the shit they were on.
A scary war.
I literally never get over it, and it makes me that much more angry about when I see people bitch about nothing. And I'm like, imagine your bitch ass having to go to war. Wouldn't that be something to complain about? I was listening to a podcast, and the dude was like talking. He was like having a argument with his girlfriend at the time, so he's like venting to the other dude in the podcast. And he sent Two-Headed Dog podcast. And
Two-Headed Dog.
Two-Headed Dog podcast, very funny. And
friends of the show, Two-Headed Dog.
Eventually, yeah. They said, fuck, what we're talking about?
Blockade getting sent to war. Imagine your bitch ass going to war.
Oh, yeah. She goes, they're like arguing, and at some point she's like crying, and she's like, are you going to get drafted? And he's like, I would be the one getting... You don't get to cry about me. Like, I'd be fucked up.
Yeah,
like
I'm fucked up. Yeah, I go to war. I deal with the shit.
I don't want to fucking think of it. She's like, am I going to... And she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Why are you going to fuck my day up?
Yeah. That shit's so funny.
That's it, man. Nah, I couldn't fucking handle it.
Oh, no.
I couldn't. There ain't a chance.
Pre-weed, pumped up piss and vinegar could have got me. Even a couple years ago, still young enough where it's like that could have been a career, and it's like, fuck, maybe I'll find aliens. 29, they don't want me.
Crazy. That's crazy. No, if there's a world war, it's up to 45, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, Russia does that for anything. Russia's like, everybody stop
Russia,
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut the
Fucking-
factory down. Time to go to war. That sucks so bad.
Time to defend your homeland.
Just a farmer, but it's like also, though, soldier.
Thank God we fucking live here.
I think about it all the time, man.
That's what I mean.
I
Like,
really do.
Like, all these people want to complain about this shit, and it's like, yo, are you gonna do it?
Like you were saying, when shit pops off anywhere, it's literally on the other side of the world. from
That's what I
us.
mean. Like, nothing. Like, we are so away. Like, who's our borders? Canada? We'll fuck Canada up in an afternoon. Mexico?
And-
Come on. The cartel would give us more issues than the army, probably.
Literally, there's been one instance of someone attacking America with Pearl Harbor, and they picked the little island that's not part of.
The furthest away.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you think any of these
and that shit was halfway a hit job itself.
We also let them do that.
Yeah.
That was us letting someone punch themselves
Yeah.
out.
Go ahead.
We're like, yeah, make it look good.
Hey, can you hit me so I could get in this
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah, we're trying to sell the pay-per-view. You got to hit me a couple
Yeah.
times.
No, exactly.
Crazy shit.
There's nothing to worry about. I mean, you say nothing, but there's plenty of shit to worry
plenty
about.
of shit to worry about in general. You want to have like a healthy fear of,
of any
reality.
But you're not
Like
living,
you said, something pops up. Even at the India-Pakistan stuff, that's like way closer to Europe. That's nothing though. It's literally like whatever.
Bro, that plane ride's like 18 hours or some shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. It sucks. You feel for people. Like,
People
you don't
give
want
a
shit to
shit.
happen, but come on. How are you going to have this strong of an opinion about shit? And it's like, listen, you want to recognize privilege. Like, look where the fuck you live, man. But you hate this country? Go live in Israel.
Yeah, when you go overseas,
join the army in Israel.
Do you say my American privilege? Because you got that shit.
Yeah.
People get
Maybe
mad
not
at how America is like represents themselves abroad, and it's like you got to understand though, man.
We got that big dick energy.
Like
We're new on the scene.
that's what all these other places like. Their shit's cool, but it happened so long ago. It's like, brother, I don't know what to tell you. Like
We might be at the peak.
we're killing it so hard. Do we have fat slobs and disgusting people?
Yeah.
Obviously,
But
like, who has? You like movies?
yeah. There's also fat Asians, and that's just
Do
upsetting.
you like anything? Because we made it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And people would get mad at that. And it's like,
People
but
would
brother,
People would get mad about that.
do you like hip hop and movies?
Yeah, dude, like, come on. Like, what?
Do you like
Entertainment-wise, name something.
75% of music
Yeah.
and 90% of movies?
Is there anything good? Like, I guess European actors are good, but they act in America.
Yeah. You got to come over here. Be like, oh, did you want to be a real actor? Yeah, come on over.
Yeah, come on over in the big show.
The big show.
Game of the Bells.
I didn't want it to be this way. I would be fine if I grew up in the Italian countryside or something. I wouldn't be.
I was looking at property the other day.
Built
in
for the
Italian
third
countryside.
world.
I think that's what I'm made for. Is a nice mountain cliff, shoreline. I don't even need a fucking beach. I just want the view. Where I could sit out and just fucking.
I think I was meant to expire years ago in a battle.
In a battle.
Yeah.
We watched the trailer for Braveheart, and it just got me thinking, like, that's the scariest. Like, this shit's scary. That ain't shit compared to, like, swords.
That's why World War I sucks, because it's both. It's
Yeah, that's
trench
true.
knives and machine guns. Fucking
guess that's
plane
true.
overhead. You're like, good lord.
I guess that's true. World War I probably is the worst. Yeah, you don't have to worry about planes flying over you.
Dude, it sucks so bad.
No, that's the scariest shit.
Yeah, so World War I's popping off in Europe.
It's popping.
Morgan's done doing business with Germany. He'd been working with England and France forever, specifically the Bank of England and all the elites of those countries. When I say England and France, I just kind of mean the Allies, but I don't know if they call them the Allies before the U.S. joins. So I don't know.
We don't know if they're good or bad yet.
Yeah.
We haven't decided who the good guys are yet.
So I just say England. I think it's Belgium, or no, maybe Belgium and like Denmark or something. It's like 2 other small countries.
Sure.
So Germany also sinks the Lusitania right around this time. So now it's bad publicity for them to do, bro. And we'll
Really
get into
get
into that in a second.
Pissed off some Americans.
And then because of the Federal Reserve thing, the public already thinks that rich people are manipulating shit. So if they're loaning money to both sides of the war, people would kind of call bullshit. So for all these reasons, they kind of have to like back off of Germany, all the banks. Would you like to take a Lusitania little dive?
I don't care.
I don't think really go. If you'd like to take a little dip and dive to the Lusitania,
we can weave. It's all about the weave. You got to control. If you can control the weave, I'm in. A classic false flag to get Americans in.
It is a false flag, but I looked into the names because the other ship was the Mauritania.
Yeah.
On Wikipedia it says there's a named after spot under these things. So it says Lusitania, named after Lusitania. I go, well, that's weird. So I click on Lusitania. Lusitania is a region on a map. It's this red part over here, so like Portugal.
I thought Mauritania sounded familiar.
It does. It is.
Was it like Portugal?
Lusitania is. The most famous guy from Lusitania is this dude, Pope Saint Damasus I. Technically, they don't know if he's either from Rome or from this place, and just his family is from there, or if he's from there. But he's connected to there, and
Council of Rome.
He's part of the Council of Rome that, at the time, that decides what books go into the Bible.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which, all of this you could easily write off, because I'm sure the conventional thing is just saying that it's named after the 2 regions that it's going to, like, patrol, that Portugal area and then the Mauritania side. But I just thought it was, some notable things popped up. He's notable for writing these, like, poems for martyrs and people. And when he died, this is the poem he had. It said, Thou who stills the waves of the deep, whose power gives life to the seeds slumbering in the earth, who did awaken Lazarus from the dead, thou will, I believe, awaken Damasus from death. So I thought waves of the deep, and I thought that sounded like Apsu shit, like the lower waters, and the seeds slumbering in the earth. I thought, like, that's where Marduk or the underworld could be. So I just thought it was like some weird terminology. And then this motherfucker thinks, like, he was so connected to God that he's going to be brought back like Lazarus. So I need to find like a book or something on him, because his wiki didn't have a ton.
Damn, that's interesting.
And then so Mauritania is this orange part that covers, Mauritania, the country, is this, I believe. Either this. I think this one, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's just territory area. Remember on the geography game, that was like grayed out?
There's like this little gray one over here. I think that's called like the East Sahara or something, and that's that little gray thing. I don't remember if that's all
what does nobody own that or something?
I don't know what they said. There's like a couple people living there, but I guess it's like disputed. I don't know. But I think this right here is the country Mauritania, and then this is the region.
The Rickard structure. Eye of the beholder.
Yes. It includes the West Sahara, which I think that's where the Rickard structure is. The Berber people lived there.
What'd you feed on the Berber?
That's all I could think about when I was reading that shit. So they're like one of the original African tribes. People think they've lived there from 12,000 BC.
Who, the Berber people?
Berber people. That's who lives in Mauritania, that region. which is all mountains. That's all the Atlas Mountains, which those Atlas Mountains are named that.
This relates back to the boat, or this is just about Mauritania?
These are what the boats are named after.
Oh, okay.
So I just thought it was something to look into.
Okay.
If there's any symbology behind it.
Yes.
So King Atlas, who most consider fictional, but I don't really know why, because he's referenced like seemingly historically.
Yeah.
And then just later they're like the mythical
12.
King Atlantis.
Yeah. 12 to 10,000.
He's said to have invented that type of globe that has like the two things around it that have like the sun, so you could like predict where the shit's gonna be. Yeah, he's said to have invented that. So Plato obviously claimed that Atlantis lied beyond the Straits of Hercules, which is the Straits of Gibraltar over here. So he said Atlantis is like, in the Atlantic. And
tracks.
Not only that, but
hardcore tracks.
There's all these mountains right here that are called the Atlas Mountains. So there's all this etymology that's like tied up together in that. And then the Rikat structure is in Mauritania now, this country. So, and the Atlas from Greek means to bear, to uphold, to endure. And there's another Greek word that means endure, and I thought it was weird. Like, why would they have two different words for that?
Yeah.
Versus this being like the name, because
that looks crazy.
The 12,000, if that's what it was called, like they don't know. A bunch of Greek myths take place in this part of Africa. This is where like the Gorgons are.
Yeah.
And shit. And what Hercules has, the Medusa.
Oh, okay.
Like her species.
Yeah. Is this where like the Odyssey takes place?
Like a bunch of just parts of different
Cyprus.
Stories. Yeah, like now Cyprus is
that's an island
over her.
Yeah. Never mind.
Region. But I guess a bunch of stories take place over here. So when they say like Atlas the Titan, they don't know if the word Atlas the Titan comes from this, or if when the Arabs came over here and they had Greek stories, then it became like the Atlas Mountains. Yeah. It's I gotta find like books on this. I got a Berber book I gotta look into.
Good rug.
And I hit up Wes Huff, who did not get back to me.
He didn't get back to you? That son of a bitch.
He posts things, but I think they're very curated. Like I post this and then I don't scroll Twitter.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I bet these areas were sick in their prime.
And then this is...
Like, you imagine the Mediterranean at like the peak of Rome or the peak of Greece.
Well, this is what a Berber is supposed to have looked like.
That's a Berber man?
Very Yacubian.
Oh, 100% Yacub. Look at that head.
Yes.
Or he's a Rasta. Yeah, man.
I feel like a lot of people are going to say it's a fro.
I am the Berber people.
And I'm going to say no. It's definitely a Yacubian skull. So, yeah. Definitely could just be named after the regions, but I thought there were some notable things about the people from those regions.
Back to this fucking boat.
Right. So 1917, these fucking Krauts sank the Lusitania.
Krauts.
They needed $33 billion in less than 18 months. America does to join the war. Wall Street obviously can't even get that type of money. It took them 2 years to get like $3 billion or whatever it was. Yeah. So the U.S. issues Liberty bonds.
Liberty bonds.
This is where it gets confusing, and I wrote it in a way that I hope will be understandable.
I like it. Go ahead. I'm just going to let you do it. I'm going to see if I understand by the end of it.
So U.S. issues Liberty bonds, where the American people, you can be a corporation, a bank, a person, you can go buy a Liberty bond, and that money goes to the war effort. And when the war is over, you can reimburse your Liberty bond for what you paid for it, and 3.5 to 4.5% interest, which is pretty good. So it's basically like a stock you're buying, like the same rules or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's a bond because it's not a stock. So when the Federal Reserve came out in 1913, the year before the war starts, notably, fucking income tax starts.
Yeah. Sick.
We were a country once.
That's what I mean. We were cool. We were a fucking, like, we were land of the free because of the brave, brother.
And people are like pushing, they're like, income tax?
Yeah.
I worked.
I fucking worked.
So, Liberty bonds, and this, I just want to say this really quick. I just want to get on my soapbox, if that's the right use of the expression. Can you show me another motherfucking country that would just buy stock in, like, helping a war against evil? How are we the bad, racist, shitty country if the American people were literally like, yeah, obviously banks and people are doing it to destroy the world.
Sure.
They're reptiles. I'm talking about the farmer that went out and was like, yep,
I'm buying some Liberty bonds.
I believe in what America says is right, and I believe in freedom, and I believe in fighting against the
and I'm going to give a little bit of my money
for
to the war effort.
I put a little bit to the side, and we went down there and we bought ourselves, Liberty bonds. It's not about, I might never reimburse it.
I might
frame it on my wall.
I love my country. I'm going to give it to them there Frenchies, them French and them English. And hell, I hope a little bit goes to the German because I like a fair fight.
I want to see us on top. That's all I care about.
World War I's a weird one because you don't know who the bad guy is. Like, what did Germany do?
Well, they do want to take over the world.
But didn't they just want to They did the same thing Russia did. They just want to put their borders back to where things were.
Yeah. I mean, what Israel? Russians doing? Israel's doing? It was like, yeah, that's ours, actually. I'm like, well, since when? I don't fucking know. It's in the Bible. I kept trying to tell my cousin about Ted Cruz. She wouldn't let me get it in. I was like, watch that interview. It's really fun.
Yeah, you'd really like it.
Yeah.
It's cringy. It's good, though. I'm sorry. Continue. No, Liberty bonds.
I'm sorry.
Liberty bonds.
So that makes sense, right?
I am
Liberty
sorry,
bonds.
and I'm okay to say that. I'll have a sip as well.
Cool, man. Thanks for making me more comfortable. But Liberty bond makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So despite all the good Americans buying it, you have these evil banker people that are literally just taking advantage of a system before there are rules and are becoming so infinitely rich at the expense of the world for the next 100 years. Yeah. The banks start buying up these bonds, and they use them as collateral for loans at the Federal Reserve. Mm-hmm. The Federal Reserve gives better interest rates on Liberty bonds because it's like a U.S. government-backed bond, so it's like so safe. So it's like, we can give you better interest rates because that's like a quality piece of collateral to have.
Yeah.
So you get interest on your Liberty bonds every 6 months, and this is all
like if you keep it in, like if I don't withdraw,
the Liberty bond itself gets interest every 6 months.
Okay. As it should.
Yes. And they claim that this is what income tax is going to help repay.
Yeah.
Obviously, like
it's impossible.
Europe is going to repay the money because that's where it's going. It's a loan to them.
Of course.
They're going to pay the money back, but income tax is what's doing it for now. So the banks have their money in the Fed.
And why wouldn't you just believe that back then? You know what I mean? Like, sure.
Also, everything on the TV is true.
And it's that and radio. But
yeah.
But that and also, like, this is the scariest thing that's ever happened. Probably.
Well, it's fucked up.
The way it's being pumped up probably on the radio where they're like, Germany could be attacking at any moment in time.
Yeah.
The Blitzkriegs will be coming.
You go down to like the theater maybe and you see like the war film.
Yes, exactly. Where it's like,
because we think the sword shit is so scary, but if all they know is that, and now it's like fucking machine guns. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That sucks so hard. So the banks got their money in the Fed. they're collecting interest on the money in the Fed.
Mm.
The money they get in exchange, like, I give you this, you give me money. They don't get, like, cash. They get a special type of money that's called, like, I don't know if it's Federal Reserve notes or something, but it's money that, like, stays in the Federal Reserve, and it's only used between them and banks. I don't know if it's just the 10 banks that got, like, approved when they set the Federal Reserve up, or if it's just big banks in general. But it's money. I think of it like Gringotts in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can move the money around.
This is such a fucking scam.
It's just before there's rules. It's literally, but then the people didn't get in trouble afterwards. Yeah. It was like, all right, starting now.
Yeah.
Rules.
Yeah.
And if your grandfathered into breaking them, that's fine.
Yeah.
And if your uncle did it and now you're still here, you can still do it too.
You can still do it too. Yeah. It's fine because your grandfathered in.
Yes.
As long as that
and
bank
by
says,
grandfathered in, we do mean Jewish.
dun, 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 dun.
So the banks, or I'm sorry, because of the public's money,
The
was
Jews, the banks,
the goblins from Gringotts. So much of the public's money is tied up in the Liberty bonds that the money the banks get from the Fed, it either stayed in the reserve or went to the military-industrial complex, shit like steel or oil, and all that, weaponry. Yes. So it's not, like, affecting the market. Mm. So it's not causing the inflation yet. It increased the money supply on paper because when a Liberty bond isn't money.
Yes.
So when you give it to the Fed and the Fed gives you money, that's new money.
Yes. They're printing money. That's what they're doing here. It's printed. That's what the bonds are doing.
They haven't because that's another thing they can literally do is print money. So it's not literally printing money because it's those special notes. But if the bank, if the bank's able to buy products from another company that uses another bank, or if it has a company that banks with it, the money just stays. You don't need to use cash. You can use that special money if you're using it amongst these other elites.
It's just like credit, almost.
It's not so much credit as much as it is like, remember that story about how, like, the gold is on that island and then they stopped moving the money around because it was all just bookkeeping because, like, the mines collapsed? Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Or because it was, like, dangerous to walk around with all your gold?
Well, in general, there was some fucking story. I don't know if that's even true. It was just some shit I heard about, like, an island. The mines collapsed. So, like, the government would call and be like, move this much money to China. And they'd be like, yeah, got it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just some fucking...
like, all the countries just had a different...
China plus 2,000...
It's all bookkeeping.
Minus.
Because that's all that, like I said, that's not literally printing more money. That's just saying on paper that now you have this much more that they didn't exist before.
Which almost goes full circle to now because it's like they're not physically printing money through, like, fractional reserve banking. They're just clicking a button on a computer and they add a fucking zero. And it's just like, oh, well, we can lend out this much money. We don't need that much on hand. That's why all this shit where it's like, oh, what if they start asking for how are we going to pay the national debt back? It's like, we don't have enough fucking money to pay
that's not even a thing.
No, that's all bullshit.
I don't know enough about it to explain, but that's not even a fucking
thing. It's like how space is fucking gay and bullshit.
And how the firmament is real, but I don't know how.
There's a stone ceiling above us.
They say it clear as day.
God.
No, you're sorry. So inflation hasn't hit yet, but the money has been added. Inflation hit when the troops come home. People start spending all the money again. They start cashing out their Liberty bonds. The money starts going into the market. Also, there were price caps and rations during the war. So now that those all lift and people are, pumping money.
Can you imagine that? You're rationed.
And this is the same thing that happened during the 2008 housing crisis and during COVID. This style of banking. So if you want to break down what this quantitative easing, it's called that central bank money. That's what they're passing around inside the Federal Reserve. So if the bank buys the bond with real money, that money goes off to Europe for the war. They have a bond. They take that bond to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve buys the bond for $10 million of the central banking money. So writing it on paper, you have this many dollars now for the bonds. The bank could get cash, but they don't because it doesn't really do any thing for them. But technically they could, just for whatever that's worth. Like we said, the Fed does, in effect, create new money, even though it's not printed it. In, like, an example in the real world, if a person took out $10K for a loan from the bank's just giving that person, on paper, $10K. So then if that person wants to go buy a car, if that car company banks with the same bank, they don't even need to do anything. They just transfer the $10K on paper debt from the guy to the car company.
Yeah.
And if it's with another company, it's probably one of the banks. They probably bank with a bank that they can transfer the made-up money.
Yeah.
Because, you're essentially double dipping because you're going to get your money back on the loan, but now you're also able to use the Liberty bond as money.
That's why the house shit is bullshit. That's what Charles was saying.
Because everyone's double dipped.
You're double dipping. Shit's done.
Everyone thinks they're pure of heart and morally superior until they're in a position to be a scumbag for the first time in their life, and they pretty much always do it. They jump at the opportunity to get one over on other people.
Yeah. Oh, the second, yeah.
So that's how the car gets bought. And it causes inflation because the real money never bought the car. The supply and demand was affected, but it was paid for in made-up money.
Yeah. Which is why the gold standard makes sense to me.
It's got to be backed by something.
Something, right?
Something.
Yeah.
Gold's a pretty good one, seemingly.
And which is this is why this is such a good scam. And this scam here is exactly why the Jays have been kicked out of every country. It's in the book. And we love the Jews. We're not even being anti-Semitic. Whatever.
We watched a video before the pod about a Jewish guy saying how they would live in Israel under a Palestine rule. Well, they've done it for 1,000 years, he said. Remember that guy?
I do remember that guy. There's good Jews. There's good everybody. There's bad whites. There's good whites. There's good Jews and there's bad Jews.
And they're not.
We're talking about the bad ones.
Yes.
But
we harp on them on this show.
We harp on them. But no, every country. It's like, oh, they've been kicked out of Spain. They've been kicked out of Europe. They've been kicked out of England. They've been kicked out of this. It's like
some lady was bitching about that on Twitter about because they claim that mayoral candidate in New York they claim is like anti-Semitic because he doesn't want to go to Israel.
Yeah.
The lady was like, the Jews will leave New York if that happened, and people were like, yeah, it's not like you've done that to like every other country you've been in. Like, came to a place, tanked its economy, left. It's like, I don't know if this is the the threat. It's more of a. It's not like you're taking away the culture. You're more like doing.
Why is my
game plan.
Yeah. Why is my priority as a mayor to go to a different place?
Let alone a different country.
That doesn't make sense.
Different goddamn
like you're the
hemisphere.
fucking mayor. You shouldn't leave the state unless something is happening.
People are dumb.
It's like when the Chicago mayor goes to wherever the fuck he went to. He went on vacation somewhere. Or not vacation. He like brought like a bunch of people, spent a bunch of money, they did some shit, and there was like shit popping off in the city. And people are like, how come you're doing all this shit? And he's like, well, and then he started pulling like the race card shit.
Good.
And it was like, whoa, it's like, whoa, we're just worried about the money. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah, people get shot all the time. We just thought the money could go to helping that.
Like, you're bringing shit up. Yeah, I don't. Nobody.
No big deal.
Nobody said that, man.
And then
break.
If the guy didn't want to buy a car and he wanted it in cash, it's basically the numbers game. Because like if everyone wanted cash, then the system falls apart. But most people are just buying things with it.
Yeah.
So they're able to get away with just doing, it's, for the one
Not
person
everybody
that's
can
getting
pull the
cash,
money out.
20 people are buying the car and stuff. So it's not, the inflation is winning out over the people who are actually putting like cash.
Yeah. I love
using real money.
I love the people that go to a bank and they say, I want to withdraw $200,000. And they go, we can't do that. They're like, I have the money in the account. I should be able to pull the money.
Learn from movies. You got to call ahead.
Really?
I mean, it was a movie. And then there's this thing called the discount window at the Fed. So if the bank doesn't have enough cash to, like, in the scenario where everyone does want, like, it doesn't even out and people do want all the cash, they can go to the Fed's discount window where they let them borrow cash at a really good rate in exchange for, again, collateral like these treasury things. But again, when you're using these treasury bonds and loans, you're wrong pipe. It's just the same thing in effect. You're using these bonds, so your money's still out there. It's being used in Europe. That is the money.
Yeah.
But this bond has now bought you the same amount of money.
Yeah.
That didn't exist before. So now you put that in the market, but then when this money eventually comes back, allegedly, that's also in the market. So you fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So that's two different ways that they're doing that without even having to actually print more money.
Yeah.
The Treaty of Versailles, I think, is how you say that. I've heard from documentaries.
That's what I've heard as well. And then I see that and I go, oh, well, that's a different thing.
Versailles.
Yeah, Versailles. Which which is a real shit deal, I hear.
What was our Belarus.
Belarus.
Are you guys for real? What do you mean? Belarus?
That's not.
No.
That's not Belarus.
Have you ever heard of a country called Belarus? Well, no. Have you ever heard of a country called Belarus? Yeah.
And funny enough, it hasn't shown up yet.
Now that you mention it, it hasn't.
We've played this game 3 times. Yeah. This has been Belarus.
I think about that shit all the time.
We should.
Anytime I see a map,
we have to run through that again.
It's good to brush up
because we were rusty. That would make for good competition.
For stiff competition. So, Treaty of Versailles, 1919, ends the war. Germany was supposed to pay 20 billion Reichsmarks. By 420.
420 Reichsmarks.
Well, this commission that got put together decided how much they would need to pay. So it's like 20 billion up front by this date, by a year from now, essentially. And then we're going to figure out how much more reparations you got to pay.
Because you fuck shit up.
Yeah, because you did a world war.
You fucked up.
Because you declared war against the world. We have to get money from you.
Yeah, get a little money from. Yes. You got to rebuild.
So they decide they need to pay $33 billion. They decide the London schedule. That's what the $33 billion comes from.
Who does this go to?
England and France and stuff. Because they need to pay back all the money they got from the American bankers. So that's how they got their money. So they need to, rebuild their countries and pay them back. So they need $33 billion from Germany.
It's crazy that they would have to pay back like what they spent on the war and be like, well, can we see some of the books? Like, why did you drop that many bombs? Like, I feel like you didn't have to drop the whole payload. You could have did half.
It's like, no, trust me, it was really scary. It's like, I don't know.
We have some good German Why? You could have did half the payload?
Would have been more than enough. So that's the London schedule. The issue... Oh, and they told them if they didn't pay it, that France and Belgium would roll up and they would occupy the district of Ruhr in Germany. And that's like an industrial district where, a lot of...
shit gets done.
Yeah.
A lot of production.
Yes.
Manufacturing.
Germany's point is like, yes, we will pay you reparations, but the deal is we're suffering from post-war inflation right now so bad, we don't have the money to pay you $33 billion on this schedule. Like... we can't hack it. But they just accepted it to show them basically like, all right, like we'll try, but you're gonna see we can't sustain it.
Yeah.
So eventually that happens. They pay 1 billion gold marks up front, but then they pretty much don't ever make another payment out of 33 billion.
You got one. What do you want?
It's like, come on, man, we told you. So they go ahead and they occupy that Ruhr district. Germans go ahead and print more money. So now it's hyperinflation because it's that they had that the post-war ship. Now there's like political unrest because there's like German pride and saying like we're paying all this money to people making our lives shitty. So now people are like getting radicalized, and this like is something that will eventually kind of lead to people being hyped on the Nazis, because the Nazis, and why people say it was like Trump shit, is because their whole thing was like make Germany fucking awesome again. Like we don't pay reparations to people, shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Some real Trump shit.
But the U.S. realizes that, okay, so if Germany never pays France and England back, they're not going to pay us back. That's that money.
Obviously.
So we got to step in and figure out how to facilitate this so that we get our money back. 1923, the Dawes Committee was formed to make a good schedule. It's got 2 of the best financial minds from all the countries involved of World War I, or of like the main ones. Charles Dawes was the vice president to Calvin Coolidge, among other titles he had. And just for funsies, I'll let you know that his family pops up in the Civil War alongside, who's that guy?
Paul Revere?
No, the Civil War.
Washington?
0 for 2 on even a guy in the war we're talking about. Grant.
Lincoln? Oh, Grant.
Yeah, good. You got the era. Grant's are the other guy. You know, there's 2 guys.
Lee.
Yes.
Robert E. Lee.
One of those 2 guys.
Apparently, a great general.
Yeah. Listen, America, tremendous minds, tremendous in all fields. So his family pops up with one of those 2 guys in the Civil War, a guy that rode with Paul Revere on the British is coming thing, and his family arrived on the Mayflower. So that's who that guy is coming from, just for, shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Foster Dulles, who's Alan Dulles' brother, who pops up in our Cube discussions and our Bilderberg discussions. He's the CIA guy, the first director. This Foster Dulles, he wasn't part of the committee, but he was very influential on it. He was around, leaning on it. By 24, the Dawes Plan goes into effect, and it outlines that certain American banks can loan the money to Germany so that Germany can get its economy stabilized and then have the money to pay England, France, and England, France can pay America, and then America can pay back the Liberty Bonds, which, if that doesn't happen, they'd have to get all the money for Liberty Bonds back through income tax.
Which is what they're doing.
Which is, a big deal to the people, but not to the people who just made $10 trillion off a war that they didn't have to fight in.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So they're able to kind of disguise this as like, oh, but if Germany doesn't get their money, it's not all about us getting our money back. It's about, Germany could be, they could turn to communism or, different, shitty things if we don't, stabilize them, get them back on capitalism, the dollar. The U.S. government did this. That's what I said. Oh, and then banks like J.P. Morgan and Company could make money off the interest to the Germany loan. So now they're like triple dipped by doing this on the same money, basically.
Yeah.
Or they're like double dipped over here, I guess, in a different way, I guess you could say. And they're like now quadruple dipped, depending on how you look at it. Again, the loans were given in the form of bonds because now these bonds aren't real money and you just
the classic bond,
duplicate it.
The bond bonanza.
The issue with tracking the money is that once it went into Germany in general, it's kind of hard to trace. And then specifically, it's going into things like steel, which is clearly something you need for infrastructure and rebuilding your country. But it's also something that could easily be going towards war machines, which part of the reparations is that you can only be building like your country back up. You can't be building tanks and shit again.
Yeah.
But that's if it was going through England and France. If it's just going through American bankers, they're like, seems like a lot of steel, but a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Good deal. So, and eventually it pops up somewhere else, but it comes up now, I guess. Eventually they'll start buying things like a lot of chemicals, and again, like it's the shit they make. What's that? Zyklon 9 or
shit for where they killed the
gas, whatever that is.
Jesus.
They were buying like those chemicals, and again, people were like, I don't know, like maybe they're doing science.
The fuck.
This Lausanne conference, or however you say that, in 32, they put it together because this is after the stock market crashed in 29. Everyone's hurting financially. All the countries of World War I of Europe get together, not America, get together, and they're like, listen, everyone's hurting. Germany, if we forgive your reparations, like we'll call it even, but we need to get America to agree to like drop our debt to them.
Yes.
And it's like, we want everyone here to do good, but we can't drop your debt until they drop their debt, because it's the same money.
Yeah. They're going to fuck us over if they just,
So they do this little conference in Europe, and they're like, all right, cool, good terms. And then they go to America, and they're like, would you like to help, repair the global economy by forgiving the war debts?
No.
Absolutely not. We're actually regretting even helping. Like, the vibe is so like, yeah, why would we get dragged into a fucking war? These bankers, there's so much unrest about that we were dragged into the war. That's the next slide, is that we were dragged into the war for that shit. At this point, Germany was also like more, it was like better for the banks to make money off of, because said they were able to write off the loans where the money from the Liberty bonds, or I'm sorry, if Germany defaults, the banks can write off the loan, where if the money that's coming back to the American government defaults, that's like on the American people. And then income tax gets jacked. Yeah, so the bankers, that's something shit they can write off, which I never really know what that means, but
is that just like, and a wash?
Maybe they meant it in that context, yeah. I meant when people write it off on taxes, I never know what that means. But yeah, maybe they just meant it off like that. That makes more sense.
I'm going to piss really
quick. Cool. So yeah, America shuts that shit down. And in theory, it's like, yes, they do owe us that money. That is what's right, is that they would pay us the money back. The issue is, remember how we were talking about last week? I don't even think it was on the pod. It was like, sometimes you value being right over what would be better. You'll be right to your girlfriend at the sake of now having a shitty night because she's pouting and stuff. Mm-hmm. Versus like, wouldn't I rather have a better night and fuck than have it be right and, sleep on the couch?
Yeah.
That's America right now. We said, I'm right, I'm sleeping on the couch. Fuck you.
Yeah. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be happy?
Because by saying fuck you, like we said in the last one, you've now kind of left Germany with no other choice, because they do not have the money to sustain this. And again, it's this, like, people are getting riled up on the pride side of things, that, we're paying this money back. We didn't deserve to be in this type of debt.
And then there's a young Hitler.
A young artiste.
A young artist, Hitler.
With a fashionable facial hair.
Very angry. Angry that, his country has to pay back
a heart
bullshit.
That rages with the passion of 1,000 suns.
He's mad at, the banking system. And that's, that really makes you understand why this is fucked up. And I'm going to say some shit, and I'm just going to put some shit together, because that's just what I'm thinking right now, and that's fine.
You're allowed, to do that. This is the greatest country in the world.
Right now, we have free speech, and that's allowed. It seems like when old was getting a little upset, when old Adolf was getting a little upset, he seems like he was getting upset the fact that his beautiful country has to pay back all this money because the Americans said no and all this other shit. And then he realizes that it's all fucked to be regardless, because in the World War I, they forced them on central banking. They weren't on that. Well, who forced them on central banking?
We know who.
We know who. And it's just, you really start putting, lines are connecting now to where
Nimrod.
you're like, because in my head, I'm like, why would you do that? Like, it doesn't really make sense. And then, you know, if I got fucked over, I would, you know what I mean? Like,
they also think they're the next Rome. It's not just like, we say national pride. It's like, they think they're the seat of, they don't realize New York City is the capital of Earth now. They think it's still them.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't know it's DC or New York.
Yeah, and all that shit is fucked up. And he's a piece of shit. And that is terrible. That shouldn't have happened. But you do understand it's like to look into a brain that you understand why he'd pick certain people.
And when you realize, like, man, this guy's looking for Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
He's looking for the Spear of Destiny, the Ark of the Covenant.
I don't know what the gypsies did. I don't know.
They might have been a throw-in to get people on his side because people didn't like them. That might have been like a get people on the bandwagon thing.
Yeah.
They're like, we all hate
like
them,
squatters. Right? They're like,
you know who else is bad? It's like
or like people like mentally fucked up. I don't get that one either. Like Down syndrome people are cool.
Well, he wants like a purified bloodline.
That okay? No, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Maybe gypsies were like dirty. Or like, you know, perceived as.
Yeah, sure. You think gypsies are dirty.
Dr. Doom's a gypsy. You're not going to get me to say bad things about gypsy.
You did.
Dirty's bad. Dirty's a temporary state of being. You can get clean.
Can't get clean.
I said they were perceived by Hitler as being dirty. I don't think that's talking bad about them. All right. So America doesn't really get that they're kind of fucking themselves over by being like, yeah, pay us that money back, bitch. Meh. Which, I mean, at the time, I would have been so on board with like, yeah, pay us our money back. It's not one that you, if you're not up to date on German politics or whatever, you would be like that. So when Germany...
I wonder how that would work with the Liberty bonds.
What do you mean?
Like, do people just get fucked? Like, if they're like...
No, they just raise the income tax. Then the money comes back from that instead of from the loan repayment. So
it's almost good they did that.
It's good for the banks because now...
But it's also good for the American people.
No, because then income tax goes up.
No, because Germany has to pay it back. Or no, if they would have wiped everything clean, nothing would have happened. So what about the people that paid to get the Liberty bonds? Like, do they?
That was from. That was to get into the war. That was $33 billion to get into the war.
You're not getting that back.
No, that's the Liberty bond money.
Okay.
This money is like bank loans to Europe.
Okay. Yes.
And
okay, I understand.
But also talking about like America's chunk of the $33 billion that went to Europe to help them, that is connected to the Liberty bonds. That money, the income tax would have stayed low if that money came back. But because that money because they just didn't pay it. We didn't forgive. That's what's fucked up about it, is it's not like we even got the money out of the deal. We both let Germany... We didn't forgive Germany's loans or whatever, so they turn into Nazis, and we didn't even get the money back because they just said, fuck it, we got another war, we can't pay you.
The Americans almost made Hitler.
We kind of...
The bankers.
Well, that's the thing.
Which, you know what else is disgusting?
They opened the door for it. They didn't care. Because, again, like another war is going to be profitable. So it's like, yeah, let them get riled up over there.
It's almost like, and this is another, just take a step back and look at how things happen, right? The bankers made Hitler because they said no to this deal. They pissed off the Germans. They became Nazis.
No, the government said no to the deal.
The government said no to the deal, probably by the arm bending of the bankers.
Yes,
right.
The bankers and the arms dealers.
It's almost like
the industrialists.
Yeah.
All of these. This is now when people are in people's pockets and being like, "Yeah, I need you to vote yes to this. This would be good for us."
The Jews could have made Hitler. Is all I'm saying.
And then thereby creating
and I don't know,
perceived threat to themselves and justification for reclaiming the Holy Land.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I don't know either. These are.
That's crazy. Huh?
That's a crazy thought.
Crazy,
it's a crazy thing to think about. I don't know.
They tried to do like a new version of
man.
the Dawes Plan, but it failed because, again, the economy is just so fucked. By the early 30s, like I was saying before, some of Germany's orders were beginning to be questionable, like Xylon B.
Mm.
So Hitler's arming Germany, which is a secret technically to like the government, yes. America, the government doesn't know that. But America, like the businesses are kind of like, guys buying a lot of bullets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but again, it's not really in their best interest to tell anyone because they're like, keep selling these bullets as long as this war goes on.
Yeah.
And also during this era, the Nazis are openly against Jews and fascists.
Wow.
But they haven't done anything with military yet. So no one's like, Europe is like really keeping an eye on them, but America's still like, I don't know, lots of people don't like Jews.
Woo!
Yeah, America's like, I don't care. Like, fascists can fuck off, but I mean, I don't care about the Jew hating. Like, that's kind of where America's at. Like, Henry Ford has a fucking newspaper. He's just printing anti-Semitic shit in.
Yeah.
And Charles.
That's all these people. All these people want to get on their high horse about this shit. And it's like, deep down, it's like, oh, it seems like a lot of people.
Well, it seemed like a pretty
You have a Ford
accepted
car?
thing where people
Yeah.
were like, well, I mean, obviously, come in and fucking ruin everything. Like, that was how they saw it, kind of. And despite not being down with fascism, they much preferred it to communism. So they were like, hey, he gets in there, he stops all that communism bullshit, it's win-win. So after World War I, we were saying before also, Great Depression hits, all these, the American people start being like, did we just go to war for Wall Street and a bunch of industrialists to become the richest people in history while, you know, my cousins and shit are dying?
Yeah. Saving Private Ryan.
Happening. That. So they're very like distrusting of things right now and politicians being in people's pockets. 1934, they make the Nye Committee, which is going to investigate these bankers and these industrialists and, like, did you do anything shady? And they find a bunch of seemingly shady shit, and then they say there's no smoking gun, so they couldn't convict him of anything. But then they name things like DuPont, who makes, like, weapons, I guess. In 1914, they made $6 million. 2 years later, $58 million.
So it's like, how's the fuck's that happen?
Pro-war propaganda groups were traced back to the people who lobbied for war.
To that company?
Yeah, like
that company lobbied for war to happen?
That company pays people to go lobby for war, and then
Which is just
they
what
have
happens.
propaganda for pro-war to like drive people to it.
Which is just as what's happening now. Like with Halliburton and all these other crazy companies.
Yeah, I think that's basically what that DuPont is like that type of...
Yeah, like a Halliburton or I can't remember the other one. This one has like Skunk Corp or Skunk Tech.
I actually know what you mean.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. By 36, and like public opinion
Lockheed
on
Martin.
this... Nice. The Nye Committee's... It's kind of under fire by the media. It attacks the credibility of the chairman, George Nye, I think his name was. Because he's from like North Dakota. So I think people are like, this guy doesn't even fucking know anything.
He's fucking Dakota.
And so many of the defense contractors who are donors for the other politicians are like voting against him and stuff. So he can't even really get any traction. And then in 36, he says that Woodrow Wilson lied to the American people just to get us into the war. He had 13 volumes of findings, but somehow there was no smoking gun final prosecution. So I don't know how that happens. Then Nye goes on to do a speech where he basically does the Eisenhower speech 25 years before Eisenhower does it, where he talks about like the military-industrial complex runs this country.
Watch yourself, yeah.
So we got manipulated into fighting in the war. Then the Allies don't pay us back nearly any of our money except for one country. I think it was like Denmark paid us all the money back. But like England doesn't pay us back barely shit. France doesn't pay us back barely
I can
shit.
see Denmark doing something like that.
So that's why up until World War II, America's like, fuck you, Europe is your own shit, do your own war, and it took Pearl Harbor to get us into the war. That's why we were so staunchly like, nah, y'all burned us once, we're on to you motherfuckers, bankers and shit, not happening again.
We're not doing it.
But then Pearl Harbor does in fact happen, and then we're like, gotta go and defend our honor.
Which was allowed.
Which was arranged. That's what I was saying a couple pods ago about even on the mainstream docs, they were saying that admiral who got fired by the president as being admiral because he so was opposed to the idea of moving all the ships over there. And the president overruled the admiral. It was like, no, we should put all the ships over there.
It's like, well, why the fuck does that make sense?
Because the president's working for the CIA, who's working for the cabal, for the Bilderberg group.
That's World War I, baby. That's all that is. And it's crazy how long ago that was.
Or not
and it's
long
only
ago.
only gotten worse.
That was yesterday, brother.
Yeah. And it's only gotten
Blink
worse.
of an eye.
Like World War II hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, that's like
This really has led me to believe that the Jews created Hitler, and which is insane.
Which I'm glad you arrived at that conclusion also, and I don't have to say it and plant it in your mind. I'm glad that
because that's actually
I'm sitting over there. I'm going, wow.
Because this was a big presentation.
It's almost like
that was the main keynote. That was the main. That was the only thing you're supposed to get out of this.
Money's fucked, and almost seems like
it's a little fucked up. And we'll bleep it.
I'd like to think that
because I don't think you could put that on YouTube. So what's the matter?
We're pretty.
We got to do that quiz. We got to do that quiz. We got to do that.
Oh, the not racist one or prejudice.
Yes.
But I'd like to think that rather than ChatGPT, there's a youth that needs to understand how money works, and he finds this video. It's 100%. Like, oh wow, these guys are also retarded, and like they understand it.
They get it.
Yeah.
Wow, these retarded guys.
I spent like 6 hours trying to figure it out and condense it into be like, all right, if a man buy car, $10,000.
Yeah. Did you watch that 30-minute documentary again? The one on Tubi?
No, I meant to, but I keep watching my World War II stuff. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's classic.
Just watch a British guy be like, it was 20 below freeze.
Yeah. Oh, 20 below centigrade.
Yeah. And they were stuck behind enemy lines. Like, oh shit! These guys are the coolest.
This is the coolest people. Like, you guys did war. That's the last people to do like real war, I think. No, Vietnam. Yeah, no, never mind. A lot more.
I mean, Korea was a war.
Yeah, Korea. I bet Fallujah was pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you define real war as the other country having an army, not like Iran.
Yeah, I guess I should say more country versus country, and not like
country versus group.
Yeah, where it's not like, oh, we're going in to get Al Qaeda. It's not about Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
We killed the dude.
We're helping Iraq.
Yeah, we're helping the people.
We're digging up Gilgamesh.
Yeah,
we're helping them excavate.
Crazy.
But yeah, that's the money of the post Federal Reserve era.
That's right after the Fed. The Fed was made. World War I started. That's where we're at.
Yes. So just so you know how that shit works.
I wish I knew that documentary. It's like the greatest scam of mankind or something.
I got to read some books about the Federal Reserve, and then I'll have a report on that because that all connects back to like your shit of money starting in like or central banking starting in like Germany and the guy splitting the sons up to all the different countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Rothschild.
Yeah, Lord Rothschild splits up on
part of the white nobility.
And I wonder if that's when they say J.P. Morgan had these long connections to the elites and the Bank of England. Is that like the Rothschilds, basically?
Yeah, probably. Because I think that's how. Because like we didn't really have central banking over here. I don't think.
No, that's what the Federal Reserve is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I can't remember. It's in that book I have.
I don't know what the definition of central banking is. I thought it was just the Federal Reserve.
Usury. That's what they call it, I believe, in the book. You know about that?
Yeah, I've heard you say that word before.
Anniversary.
I know you like it.
All right. We done with this?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Peace, fuckers. We'll see you next week. Is this 150? 149. Peace out.